Vanessa Garber is suing Matt Dockerty in the amount of $3,000. Ms. Garber claims Mr. Dockerty got rid of her dog that she paid for and had shipped across the country. Mr. Dockerty claims the dog was untrained and dangerous, so he had to get rid of it.
Ms. Garber, you are a dog lover.
Yes. How you doing, Your Honor?
And I understand that you owned up to 5 dogs at once?
4. The last dog was a replacement dog.
Okay. All right. Why don't you tell me a little bit about why we are here today suing the defendant for $3,000?
Well, first of all, let me just put out there that, again, I am a big dog lover, a huge animal activist. I've always had dogs since I was a little girl. My parents put me around dogs. And I even work at a pet supply store, helping out other animals there. And I had met Matt at a dog park where he had his terrier, Mocha. Right. Now, I instantly fell in love with the dog before I did him. So I seen his dog, and we hit it off. We started talking a little bit, and our conversations just blossomed. Mocha's a terrier. My dog, Marley, was a Shih Tzu and only about, what, 30 pounds. I've had her for about 6-7 years, so she's a little older than the rest of the dogs. Now, after about a year or so, we started dating, and our relationship blossomed. And we decided to move in together. Yeah. I met his daughter, Kaylee, and we introduced Marley and Mocha. They hit it off perfectly. It was no problem with the dogs or anything.
Does your daughter live with you?
Yeah, my daughter does. And, you know,
and
even
how old is she?
She's 9.
Okay.
And I'm not a huge dog person, but, you know, Mocha comes from, you know, with my, you know, and my daughter from a past relationship. So that's why even I have Mocha. But we hit it off, so that's why I decided to let her move in. But
and you just decided to let her move in because you hit it off, or because you?
No, it was a year. The relationship, we had a solid relationship.
Okay, so you thought
Kaylee
it could move on to something.
Absolutely, the next level for me.
I imagine that it was important for you. You thought about this because you had a 9-year-old daughter. You don't want anybody moving in.
Absolutely,
right?
not just anyone.
That's good to know.
Absolutely right.
So you had 2 dogs living at the house now. How many other dogs came in?
That's what I'm getting to, Your Honor. That's what the problem.
So you had Marley and Mocha, did get along well?
They got
along perfectly.
They were cool.
And so being that I am such a dog lover, a couple months later, like I told you, I go to the animal shelter, the dog kennel. So I went ahead and bought Hugo, which was a bulldog.
Juice. Yeah.
Okay? He was a bulldog that was about 30
so
pounds.
So you had Marley,
Mocha, and now Hugo.
Hugo.
Yes.
Okay,
Juice.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when I brought Hugo home, mind you, I had asked him before I brought the dog home, was it okay? This man here told me yes.
Okay. Before you brought the dog home, you said yes. So you understood the commitment of having another dog.
Of course. I mean,
you know, I hate to compare dogs to children, but they are.
Right.
They need love, they need attention, they need nurturing, they need compassion, they need your time.
I agree. That's why I only have 1 daughter, because I'm not ready for more.
So anyway,
that's very smart. So now you had Hugo, you had Marley, and you had Mocha.
Definitely.
And you just went to the
You know what? I have this attraction and love for dogs, and I do go to the.
So do I, but I only have 1.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you.
So a lot of people have others. I'm one of the others.
Okay, so you brought another dog into your living arrangement.
Definitely.
And did this dog get along with the other 2?
He was a little, like, standoffish. He had sniffing around when I first brought him in the house. He seems to get along with Mocha fine, but Marley, not so much. He kind of growled at him. So when he did that, that's when I made a decision to get doggy fences and keep Mocha and Marley in the living room and keep Hugo in the bedroom. And when I walked them, we walked them separately.
Yeah.
So you had to divide the dogs? You had to separate the dogs?
We didn't have to, but I did for my own security because I am always working. And
okay, did you take time to train Hugo so he got acclimated to the other 2 dogs? Did you do some dog training classes together? Did you take all those steps to make sure the dogs got along?
I did not take as many steps as I would have liked to.
Did you take any steps?
Yes, I did. I trained my dog myself.
How do you train dogs?
Well, you know, the regular sit down and
learns things on the internet, then like tries to teach him.
No, I take them to the doggy park.
So you had to physically separate them, the dogs? The most important thing that you're doing is that you're creating a barrier. You're creating an environment where the dog is being taught this is my territory. So the dog will become possessive over their territory because they feel they're confined to that area. Therefore, anything else that happens, anybody who tries to touch them or touch that little fence or the area, they will become extremely territorial and they will defend.
Coming up on Justice for All.
So when I was taking, Marley and Mocha out, Marley kind of walked past Hugo's bowl, and then Hugo snapped at her and bit her, like on the neck, and, snatched her really quick.
And later,
I thought it was a date because I did ask. I'm like, oh, so, are you sure your boyfriend won't mind that you're hanging out with me today on a Friday?
closed captioning provided by. If you'll be in the Los Angeles area and want to bring your case to court, call 1-888-552-6878. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Christina Perez. We're back with the case of Vanessa Garber, who is suing Matt Dockerty for $3,000.
So tell me what else happened. I can only imagine.
So, a couple months later, I went ahead and got another dog. I got Sasha. She was a boxer. So, I asked Matt again. That's what I'm saying. I don't run nothing by him. I run everything by him before he decides to, make these crazy decisions. So, I told him about Sasha. And what did you say, Matt? You said it was fine. He was reluctant to it, but he did tell me it was fine.
Like, it making me feel guilty about everything.
That's your whole thing. I persuade you to do everything. No, you wanted the dogs too, and you said it was okay.
I wanted her to be happy initially. I just wanted her. She loves these animals, but that's when I started to get really worried.
So you separated Sasha too. You put her
with Hugo.
With the
the two big dogs got to be together. Two smaller dogs got to be together. Yeah, it was frustrating, and that's how the main incident happened. Because what happened typically when she would go to work, I would kind of let
you
the
didn't
dogs
train
out.
Sasha?
No,
Sasha was already trained.
Yeah, Sasha came supposedly trained, and they weren't my responsibility in terms of training them. She said that she would, or that she trained her own dogs. So when she would leave to go to work, I work from home as a consultant, so we have this open layout, so I just let the dogs out, because that's the only way they're going to be able to.
So neither one of you trained the dogs, or...
That'd be about
there's no positive reinforcement. There's no socialization with humans. There's no socialization with other ones. Your environment at your home, if you're completely separating, you're breeding aggression between the dogs. So what happened? Why are we here today?
Cool, we're here today because usually, again, when she go to work, since I work from home, it's kind of an open layout. So I let the dogs out so they can at least socialize with each other. So typically I can see everything. So I was going to take the dogs out. I was taking the small dogs, so I'll take the small dogs out together, I'll take the big dogs out together. So when I was taking, Marley and Mocha out, Marley kind of walked past Hugo's bowl, and then Hugo snapped at her and bit her, like on the neck, and, snatched her really quick, and then let her go, and I hit Hugo, he ran, and then I picked up Marley and took her to the vet, and it was, because of her age and because of the bite, she wasn't gonna make it, so I had to put her down. It was... To see all that, and then to have to call her, it was gruesome. My daughter saw the whole thing. It was just bad. It was terrible, and she honestly has not forgiven me since then. It was bad, And so then after that, I called her, and she was devastated, obviously, because that's the last thing I wanted to happen was for someone to get hurt or the dog to die. But shortly after that, she seemed to recover fairly well because she ended up finding another dog, which blew my mind. I'm still, we're fairly in mourning over, let's say, Marley, being killed, but then she hits me up and hey, there's this other dog named Leo. And Leo is a Mastiff. Mastiff is at 1 year old, the dog, it's like a man dog. When the dog puts his hands on my shoulders, we're looking eye to eye. And Leo wasn't even trained for real. I was trying to take him to session. That was my responsibility. Since Leo, I was listen, we can get Leo as long as you have a pro training him. Not you, but a pro. So I was actually taking Leo out, on his leash to go, to take him to this training session. My daughter was kind of walking beside him to kind of walk with me out. And then Leo, snapped at her. And that's why I was it's done. My daughter ran screaming into the other room. I was freaked out because anything that happened to my daughter, I'm always worried. That's why I decided it's done. I called the animal shelter. I was listen, I got a dog, come and get it. and it was over.
Without my permission.
She talked about like it's her rules, but it's my house. It was my rules. It was over. It was done. Like I was done with more dogs. Period.
You didn't even call me to
Okay,
talk
and what
to me.
happened to Leo?
She went to go check Leo to, I guess, try and go pick him up or something. But by the time
Was
she
he
got
adopted from the shelter?
Yep, got him from the shelter. Went
How
back
long
to the
did it
shelter.
take for him to adopt him from the shelter?
It was the process, a few weeks because we had other dogs.
Okay, so why don't you go get Leo?
I went to the animal shelter and he was gone.
How long? You're suing for Leo's price, $3,000. You spent $3,000 on Leo. He sent Leo to the shelter. Why didn't you go that same day to pick up Leo? I think I've had enough. I'm going to deny your claim. Not only are you both completely irresponsible, you are negligent. You were buying dogs like they were accessories, and dogs are not accessories. I mean, seriously, you expect me to take this claim seriously? You're suing him for $3,000 when you didn't even care for the dog? You don't even know what happened to Leo. What happened to Leo? Did you go and investigate?
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't, because you didn't care about the dog. At the end of the day, you don't care. All you care is about yourself. And you cannot be a selfish person if you want to have a child or a pet. So based on that, I'm denying your claim. I have no evidence. You know, this was perfect. You guys were made for each other, so good luck.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
Despite what the judge said, I'm still upset you went behind my back and got rid of Leo.
The judge was right. You're selfish and you don't deserve a dog, period.